Hello everyone, here to show you how to make a blackjack game in C++. Uh, Let me start out with the functions and the variables. So you need a choice. Oh, and the includes. Oh, you don't need this. Here you'll need int choice, int hit, int split hit 2, split stay, stay. And I added a split functionality so that then when you do end up splitting, like if you get two cards on the same hand, two cards that are the same in the very beginning. Like for example, you get two nines, two eights, two sevens. You can split and then split those cards and then hit on the 8, hit on the other 8, so that then you can beat the dealer that way instead of just keeping both 8 together, having a 16. You can split both 8s and then maybe get a 10 here, a 10 there, and then get 18 instead. So I added split functionality so that then it's not just plain old blackjack, or just well, it is plain old blackjack. So I using stdc out, using std sign, and an std end l, sran time null, bool play, split play is equal to true. This one not necessary. Here I'm checking the dealer card. I'm doing a rand between 11 and 1. And the reason why 11 and 1, because I wanted to include an ace. Because, so I then, it's more real, Dealer card 2, another 11 and 1. And the reason why player card 1 is equal to 2 over 1 over here, or 2 plus 1, is because I have a split functionality, and if I wanted to showcase in this video, just change it back to 11 plus 1, so that then you can have 11 to 1, 1 through 11 randomizer instead of just a 2 and a 1 randomizer. And here's player card 3 for when you split, and here's the dealer hand and the player hand for when you don't split. I'm checking in to see if player card 1 and player card 2 is equal to 11. And if they're both equal to 11, you set player card 1 equal to 1. And if player card and dealer card 1 and dealer card 2 are equal to 11, you set dealer card 1 equal to 11, so that then you don't bust, so automatically you go over 22. So instead you'll get 12 instead. If dealer card is equal to 21, then dealer has a natural blackjack, and then play is equal to false, which will end the game right there. And this is the check here. If player card 1 is equal to player card 2, then or split play is equal to true. It keeps in the loop. This true keeps this loop going. So once it's able to be true, then it keeps the loop going, and it prevents this other line of code, these other lines of code from playing at the same time. And it'll ask you, here's a char variable, char local variable, your first card, player card 1, and player card 2, and your second card is player card 2, which, could be 1 or 2 because of this range here, 2 and 1, this 2 and 1 range here. And it'll ask you, would you like to split? And then it'll say yes or no. You input yes or no. Then player card, player hand split. Player hand split 1 is equal to player card 1 plus player card 3. Player hand split 2 is equal to player card 2 and player card 4. Sorry about that. So player hand split is equal to player card 1 plus player card 3. Player hand split 2 is equal to player card 2 plus player card 4. Then it'll check to see if yes, if you of course, you inputted Y, which is, yes, of course, or minus Y, then you would do a do while loop, and you enter a do while loop, and then you start playing. Then it'll split the cards, and it'll show the dealer's hand, whichever that may be, and player card 1, player card 2, player card 3, and player card 4. It'll show you exactly what you got on the flop there. It'll show you exactly what you got on the flop. When the dealer gives you the cards, it'll show you exactly what you got. So then you can do addition, see if it's actually the true number that you had gotten. Would you like to hit? Would you like to stay? And enter a switch case. Then it'll do player hand split 1 plus split hit. Player hand split 2 plus split hit 2 plus split hit 2. And I'll show you those functions later, but I'll show you the functions now because just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. What it is just an int function that returns 11 and 1. 11 to 1 range, so you'll get either 11 to 1. And this if statement is checking to see if your split hand that you had entered, that you parsed into the function, is greater than or equal to 11, and if hit 1 is equal to 11. So I'll check these two conditionals, and it'll put hit equal to 1, because it's like if you get an ace in blackjack. If you get an ace in blackjack and you're like, for example, if you're at 11 or you're at 12, it automatically becomes a 1. But if you get an ace when you're not at 9 or 10, it'll play this else statement instead. And without any modifiers. So hit 1 is equal to hit 1 is equal to 1. And this hit 2 is basically the same. It'll check to see if your hand is greater than or equal to 11. It'll check to see if hit 2 is equal to 11, and it'll change hit 2 equal to 1, because if you have any hand over 11 or equal to 11 and you get an 11 in blackjack, it'll become a 1 automatically. Oh, and here's split stay. Very simple. It's basically the same thing as hit, but for the dealer. And this is if you stay. So check to see if the dealer hand is greater than or equal to 11, and split hand is equal to 11, and it'll make split hand equal to 1, and returns split hand if and I'll do this because I've noticed, and I'll do an else here for posterity, because I feel like to make it all uniform. Now I'll do this to make it all the same. And I'll do this so that then you know for sure that the dealer had hit. The dealer's card, so you'll know exactly what the dealer is getting. I always think it's a good idea when you're dealing with numbers is always to print it out to the screen so you know exactly what you're getting. So instead of just playing the function, you have to kind of guess. Instead, no, you just parse, like maybe, or put you know, a print string or a print int. You print the integer out to the screen so you know exactly what you're getting, so you know that the function is actually working how it's supposed to. This applies to the same on the regular stay. This is split when you split, and this is when you stay regularly. So here you entered the switch case, and you add the split hit function, the value that comes out of the split hit function, to the player hand split 1 and player hand split 2. You add whatever comes out of the hit, out of the split hit function, and you add that to the player hand split 2, which is 11 to 1, or you know, whatever random number comes out of these two, which it was going to be 11 and 1, but I just put it as 2 and 1, so I can show you the split hit functionality much quicker, because the split function much quicker. Split hit functions much quicker, because if I didn't, it will take a while. I would have to keep closing out of the command window. And this video would take much longer. So here, the dealer hand, it'll show the dealer hand. It'll show player card 1, player card 2, player card 3, player card 4, and what you got. What you got after adding these two integers to these two integers, and it'll show you the output of that right here. First is checking to see if you went over 21, or if your second split hand is greater than or equal to 21, then you busted, you lose. Else, while the dealer hand is less than or equal to 16, since the dealer stands on 17, you gotta check to see if it's less than or equal to 16. Because once it gets to 17, then it stays completely. So that hit on 16. You don't want the dealer to hit on 17. And here's the function that'll loop until the dealer busts or he gets a 21. And this is random, of course, so he could get a 10, he could get a 9, could get an 8, and you know, so on and so forth. And I forgot to mention, if you notice anything that is off with the code and you want to you know, help or give any sort of critique of what could be done, you know, to improve, you leave it down in the comment section down below, or leave a good comment. You know, it'd be much appreciated. on the side note. And after the split play, after this function, after this while loop passes, split play is equal to false and play is equal to false. And while split play is equal to true, this do while loop right here that we have entered after pressing yes or no, if split play is equal to true, you exit the while loop. Also, I forgot to mention that if yes, but if you press yes or no here, sign yes or no, you input yes or no, and you get a capital Y or a lowercase y. In the else statement, that's if you, of course, you press N or anything else. Split play is all false and play is equal to true. And after you exit the while loop, it'll check to see if play is equal to false, because you don't want this code running as you're playing the other route, which is this route, which if you do not decide to enter a split, you decide to just play regular blackjack. You don't decide to split and make the game more complex. You just decide to play the normal game of blackjack without the two hands. Without the two hands, when I'm referring to hands, without the two cards that are split apart from each other, with just the one hand. Like, for example, you get 2 8s and you just want to stick to the 16. Well, this is the route that you would take. And it's checking if split play is equal to false and play is equal to true. And that's if you say no on this if statement. You say no to this if statement, and it'll make split play equal to true and split play equal to false. And then you can enter this other do while loop, which is just normal blackjack, which is very similar to how you split, but except you only have just one hand instead of two hands. Dealer must stand on all 17s. Welcome to blackjack. Dealer, dealer's hand. Player, player hand. Would you like to hit or stay? Then you get a choice. Then player hand plus hit, which is this function down here. Hit. If player hand is greater than or equal to 11, and hit is equal to 11, hit is -1, return hit. Else, you just return anything like 10 or 11, whichever, depending on if the card, and if your player card is, if your player hand is equal to 10 or 9 or 8 or 7, anything below 11. It shows the dealer hand and the player hand, and if the player hand is equal to 21, during this case loop, you busted, and it'll show the dealer hand and player hand again. And if case 2, it'll loop and keep dealing the dealer his card until he is less than or equal to 11. If he's greater than 17, like for example, if he hits on 16 and he gets a 4, he won't hit any longer than that. He won't hit anymore. He'll get a 20 and that's the end of it. But if he gets a 10, he'll bust if he hits on 16. Or a 15. But if on a 16 hits on, like, for example, like he gets a 3, he'll get a 19 and he won't hit any longer. And that ends it. And play is equal to false, and then all these checks go through. It checks if player hand is greater than the dealer hand, and player hand is less than or equal to 21, then you win. Then if player hand is less than the dealer hand, and dealer hand is less than or equal to 21, you lose. If the dealer hand is greater than or equal to 21, dealer busted. if player hand is equal to 21, glow greater than or equal to 21, you busted. And if player hand is equal to dealer hand, you push. And it's the same here. If player hand split is greater than or equal to 21 and player hand split is greater than or equal to 21, well then, you busted. If player hand split is greater than or equal to dealer hand and player hand split is equal to less than or equal to 21, then you win. If player hand split is greater than the dealer hand and player hand split is less than or equal to 21, then you win. Player hand split 2, I mean. Player hand split 1 is less than dealer hand, and dealer hand is less than or equal to 21, you lose. And if player hand split 2 is less than or equal to dealer hand, and dealer hand is less than or equal to 21, then you lose here. And if player hand split 1 or player hand split 2 is less than or is equal to 21, oh, that shouldn't be an or statement. That should be an and statement. Well, I think it's an or. Yeah, it's an or. It's gotta be an or. Well, that's it for this tutorial. Here's the code again. I'll scroll through the code slowly. Then after I scroll through this code, I'm going to play. I'm gonna show you how the code runs. Okay, I'll show you how the code runs now. So this is the normal route. It's not splitting. So I'm gonna press hit. Hit has no modifier, is equal to 7. Player card is equal to 10 because player cards is 3. Okay, player card is equal to 10. Hit has no modifier, is equal to 1, so it's 11. Hit has no modifier, is equal to 4. And I'll hit again, see what happens. I busted. Hit has no modifier, is equal to 9. So I busted because I got 24. Your first card is 2, second card is 2. Would you like to split? Yes. See, since player card 1 and player card 3, you add them together, you get 13. If player card 2 and player card 9, you get 11. Would you like to hit? So this is 17. This is 14 because the second player hand is 11, and since the first hand is 13, it's 17 plus 14. I'm gonna stay. Dealer hit and you got a 10, and dealer busted and you win. Now let's see if I stay. Just for posterity, dealer cards is equal to 6, he gets a 9. If dealer card is equal to 10, he gets a 19. And then since your player card is equal to 3, you lose because the dealer had more than you, as it says here. Okay, I'll hit. So I got 3. I'm at 6 right now. I got 9. I'm at 15. Let's hit. I got 18 now because I got 3. Dealer's got 14. Let's hit. I'll hit. And I'll stay again. Dealer got 17. That was an odd bug. I saw that. That was an odd bug. Haven't seen that before. I know what you guys saw there. I'm thinking, oh, wait, that ain't right. See now, once it went past 16, it got 17. So and he stayed on 17, as per usual. So the dealer has 20. So I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna hit again. I'm gonna hit again. I'm at 20, and we push. See, push. It says push right there. Stops the program. Okay, I'll say yes to that. So player card 1 and player card 3, that equal to 5, and player card 2 is equal to player card 4. That's 4. So I'll hit 8 and 5 because it'll show you what exactly you got out of the split hit. So you got like a 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. And would you like to hit? Yes. And the dealer still has 14, so I'm going to hit again. I busted, exited the loop, and it went to the regular game of Blackjack. So I'll hit. Hit. And I busted. I'm going to say yes to that. So on player card 3 I got 11, so I got 12. So I'll hit. So I got 14 and 10. I busted. And now it exits that loop and goes straight into the other game. that'll be it for this tutorial. If you notice anything and you want to leave a comment, leave it down below. But here you can, you're pretty, this is as much functionality as I can give to the blackjack game. Then you can start adding things like double down, you know, things like that. You start adding your own credit system to the blackjack game, so you can input your own credits. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this blackjack game. And have a good one. Stay safe out there.